I will crown Myrcella at Hellholt, and raise my banners there. The Thoughts of Arianne Martell, A Feast for Crows, Chapter 21. The Queen Maker. House Uller of Hellholt is maybe one of the most infamous houses to come out of the scorching sands of Dorne. They have a feared reputation, and have even managed to leave scars on the mighty House Targaryen. Their keep, known as the Hellholt, certainly deserves its name. Located in the middle of the desolate Dornish deserts, on the banks of the toxic Brimstone River. Some have said it's like being in one of the seven hells itself. This isolation has reportedly made the men and women of House Uller impulsive, unpredictable, and ill-tempered. Some might even go as far as saying psychotic or half-mad. So much so, in an insular kingdom such as Dorne, the Ullers are very much seen as apart from your average Dornishman. A Dornish saying says the following: half the Ullers are mad, the other half are worse. Given the historical context we have of the house, might strike truer to home. The arms depict a rayon yellow over crimson. We currently do not have any indication of their house words. House Uller are not counted among the first men to inhabit Dorne during the Dawn Ages of Westeros. Their founder is likely believed to have been a half-mad Andal adventurer whom, rather than staking a claim some more pleasant land along the coastlines or in the hills near the Red Mountains, ventured into the endless red sands of Dorne, where few men dared to explore, where he raised the keep of Hellholt on the banks of the sulphurous Brimstone River. Despite the impossibly harsh conditions, the early Ullers managed to form a way of life in this remote, hellish place. And as the house grew, so did their keep, the Hellholt. We believe the castle got its name after some rival house of the Ullers were invited to the castle, locked inside a chamber within, and burned to death. This is also believed to have been what inspired the name, the Hellholt, and the Uller house arms. The castle is said to be on the larger side, with tall, thick walls, and a tower that at some point staged defensive weapons such as scorpions. Hellholt is also said to have an inescapable foul smell, believed to have come from the toxic sulphuric waters of the Brimstone River. Hellholt does seem to be more than just its keep. While there is currently no written description, there is in fact some indication there is a kind of street system with a small folk population and likely economic activity such as markets. There may also be some small dock on the Brimstone itself, used to bring trade and supplies into Hellholt from other places in Dorne. However, we have very little, and in some cases next to no information about these places and how they fit into the wider keep of Hellholt. After the migration of the Rhoynar from Essos and the marriage of their leader, Nymeria, to Lord Martell, the Ullers were among those who supported the new house, House Nymeria Martell, against the kings of House Ironwood during the 9-year struggle that became known as Nymeria's Wars. As history tells us, House Martell did eventually consolidate control over Dorne, but it is likely it could have taken much longer without the support of houses like the Ullers from early stages of the conflict. Lord Martell would die in battle against King Yorick V Ironwood early into the war, during the bloody Battle of the Boneway. Nymeria would remarry several times over her life, but her second husband was the then Lord of House Uller. Given that House Martell would be following the Rhoynish custom in terms of inheritance, Martell's eldest daughter with Nymeria would inherit the Principality of Dorne, but it would seem Lord Uller's motivations did not get tested, as he and Nymeria had no children of their own, with Lord Uller seemingly dying prematurely. After the death of Lord Uller, the twice-widowed Nymeria would marry a Sir Davos Dane. House Uller and Hellholt, as a result, would play a key and important role during what would become known as the First Dornish War, in the wake of the Targaryen conquest of Westeros. Aegon the Conqueror and his sisters had first attempted to invade Dorne during the initial conquest itself, however were not able to do so as the Dornish nobility and army hid in the mountains and deserts, not offering battle. You cannot beat a foe who will not face you. Princess Nymeria Martell had warned Queen Rhaenys Targaryen that Dorne would not be so easily taken as the kingdoms to the north. a warning that would soon be proven true in 4 AC, when Aegon, with his sisters and Lord Orys Baratheon and Lord Harlan Tyrell, would lead a huge army into Dorne. Harlan Tyrell was tasked with capturing Hellholt, a mission that would soon show the invaders the harsh realities of trying to invade the sands of Dorne. During the sun-baked march to Hellholt, Tyrell lost a quarter of his men and horses, and soon found water supplies fastly running out. The toxic Brimstone River was poisonous to any man who drank it, and whatever fish was taken from the waters were just as toxic. Even wells and several desert oases on the march to Hellholt had been tainted by the Ullers, so Tyrell's army could not resupply. By the time they did reach Hellholt, Harlan Tyrell found the keep abandoned, with no trace of the Ullers or their men. Much like the initial invasion during the conquest, Aegon found battle few and far between, and quickly captured the empty capital of Dorne, Sunspear. He named Lord John Rosby the Warden of the Sands, and ordered Harlan to remain and defend Hellholt from any Dornish counterattack. But within weeks of Aegon returning to King's Landing, the Dornish fighting men appeared like ghosts from the sands, and retook Sunspear and most of the castles in Dorne. When Harlan Tyrell got word, he marched his army east across the sands from Hellholt, but they vanished in the deserts, never to be seen again. In retaliation for the loss of Dorne, Aegon and Visenya at one stage burned Hellholt with their dragons. However, the extent of the damage to the keep is not entirely clear. House Uller would deal a huge blow to House Targaryen late into the First Dornish War in the year 10 AC. Queen Rhaenys Targaryen and her dragon Meraxes were shot down with a scorpion bolt as they flew over a tower at Hellholt. The dragon was struck in the right eye. The fall of Meraxes destroyed the tower, and a good part of the curtain wall was also damaged. Damage that is still visible to this day at Hellholt. The exact fate of Rhaenys is not entirely clear. It's most likely that she died on impact with her dragon, but there are some tales that suggest that she survived the fall, albeit badly broken, only to be held as a captive for months in the dungeons of the Ullers, where she was tortured until her death. Most maesters believe this tale to be a creation of the Ullers, used to grow their own renown, as given the speed and flight of Meraxes, the idea Rhaenys could survive that fall that could kill a dragon does not truly make sense. But, regardless, the death of Rhaenys caused what is known as the Dragon's Wrath, one of the bloodiest periods in the history of Dorne, where Aegon and his sisters burned every castle in Dorne twice over, with several members of House Uller dying in the process. It's said the fires burned so hot the sand nearby to Hellholt was fused into glass through the dragon flames of Balerion and Vhagar. The sun-mottled bones of Meraxes would remain on display at Hellholt for some time, until the new Prince of Dorne, Nymeria Martell, negotiated a peace with King Aegon, and the skull of Meraxes was returned to House Targaryen. In the years after the downfall of House Targaryen and the rise of House Baratheon as the new High Kings of Westeros, the current Lord of Hellholt is now Lord Harman Uller. His younger brother, Sir Ulrich Uller, and Harman's bastard daughter, Ellaria Sand, are among the Dornish nobility that accompany Prince Oberyn Martell, the younger brother of the Prince of Dorne, to King's Landing for the wedding of Joffrey Baratheon and Margaery Tyrell. Ellaria is the long-time paramour of Oberyn, with her being the mother of several of the infamous Sand Snakes, the bastard daughters of Prince Oberyn. Later, the daughter and heir of Prince Doran Martell, Arianne Martell, plans to secretly crown Princess Myrcella Baratheon at Hellholt when she first starts planning her coup. She believes that the Ullers will join her cause due to their close connection with her uncle Oberyn, especially after his death during trial by combat in King's Landing. She believes that Ellaria Sand in particular will be hungry for revenge. But Arianne's plan is foiled, and she is confined to a tower in Sunspear. She does briefly consider asking the Ullers for help, but decides this would be too risky. Harman and his brother Ulrich, as well as Ellaria Sand, are present at the feast held at Sunspear for the arrival of Sir Balon Swan of the Kingsguard, with the skull of Sir Gregor Clegane, the Mountain, the man who had killed Oberyn Martell and murdered Ellaria Martell during Robert's Rebellion. Both Harman and his brother refuse to drink when Ricassio raises a toast to King Tommen I Baratheon, as of the publication of A Dance with Dragons. This is all we currently know of House Uller.